Hello, everyone. Okay, so I'm pretty tired today. I didn't sleep very well, but I'm here. I need to do some work on my blog. I have 2 articles I'm almost finished writing that I need to post, and I need to write at least 2 more today. So if you have questions, you can ask your questions, and I will try to answer them. Okay? But I'm going to try to do some work while I'm talking to you guys and trying to answer your questions. Okay? Hello, Merv and Nguyen and Ali and Gavin. Hello, everyone. Yeah, no. Hello, Mora and Alex. Hello, Hosier. Oh, I should put this on this other screen, but I'm too lazy. I wonder if I can. Where did I put that one? There it is. Vicky, hey, again, the topic is whatever English questions you have, general questions you have, whatever. I'm trying to do some work, but I'm going to answer your questions if I see them on the screen. So if you have some sort of question that you want to ask me, or something that you want me to tell you more about, if I can, I will. And I'm trying to do some work on my blog while I'm talking to you. Okay? Okay. Okay. What's my take about confrontation? It's sometimes necessary, but confrontation has many shades. You can confront someone gently, or you can confront someone aggressively. You can confront somebody in a way that seems caring, or you can confront someone in a way that is uncaring. But I don't really have much more to say about it. It's part of life. Confrontation is part of life. What do I think friendship is and how to maintain it? Wow, you guys have some big questions today. Friendship is caring about the things that other people do. Friendship is admiring the light that you see in someone else for some reason. Friendship is a sense of community and loyalty. Friends are people who care about you. It's really that simple. And hello, Giuseppe. How are you, my friend? Can I share some ways to improve your accent? Well, actually, I can. And that's what I'm working on right now. I'm writing an article about my concept that I call English is a Big Mouth Language. Well, I'm writing the article to go with that, with all my thoughts and ideas about it, but I need some time to finish it. But if you go to my blog, this will be on my blog by the end of today. Okay? And this will help you a bit, because there is actually something in this article about Vietnamese speakers. Okay, if you're Chinese or you're Hindi or you are Vietnamese, you can check out this article. It's for anybody. This article is for anybody, but in particular for any language that uses more of a small mouth, this article is for you. At school, is everyone learning Spanish in America? Is that a question? No, not everybody does. Certainly not. Nobody is required to. My nephews both took Spanish in high school by choice. You can choose whatever language they offer, right? So most high schools will offer something like French and Spanish and Italian and German. Some have Latin, some have Japanese or Chinese. Not too many languages, unfortunately. They're usually pretty limited to just a few major languages. But nobody is forced to learn Spanish here. Hello, Belen. How are you? Hello, Jasper. Thank you for the gifts. Oh, Hosier says, I mean, if the students that go to school speak Spanish, can the teacher teach them? Yeah, it does become a bit complicated when that happens, but we do the best we can to find classes for them in Spanish, or we teach them remedial English, meaning we start them in English classes as soon as possible. But everyone gets taught. Let's put it this way. Everyone gets taught. Nobody is allowed to be excluded. So yes, the teacher will teach them. They just sometimes have, one school might have a bigger budget, more money, and so that one school might have more ability to help a student like that. Another school might have a lower budget and not much money, and so a student at that school with that problem is going to struggle a lot more because they don't have any ability to help them. Okay? Can confrontation be replaced with engagement? No, because confrontation is different. There are times when you must tell someone something uncomfortable. That is confrontation. It could be something as simple as you hurt me, or something you said, I was offended or bothered by something you said. Or it could be something as direct and huge as you hit me, or someone your boss fired you for no reason, or you're on the bus and someone put their hand on you. When someone puts their hand on you on the bus and you don't want them to put their hand on you, do you engage with them or do you confront them? No, you confront them. You say, hey, get that off of me unless you want to lose it. That's confrontation. That's directed speech with directed purpose. Okay, now confrontation can be more than just speech, but I think we're talking about confronting, confrontational speech is what we're talking about. Okay? So, in life, there are times when you must confront some people about some things. How can you improve your listening skills? Many people ask this question, and my answer is always the same. Start by listening to the right people. The biggest mistake that people make with practicing listening is they listen to just anybody. You go on YouTube or TikTok and you listen to anyone. That's your mistake. Why are you just listening to anyone? Don't. Take some time. It takes time, but if you take time, you can find people who speak well. Follow them. Listen to them. And then you'll improve your listening skill. Okay, so improving your listening skills starts with listening to good things. Okay? If my student steals something, I have to confront them. If my student is cheating, I have to confront them. Confrontation is part of life. And just like anything else, Maura, it gets easier with practice. Hello, Jellyfish, how are you? Have you sold any great crystals lately? You know, there's a shop I went to in my city just the other day. I had lunch at my favorite burger place, and right next door is a crystal shop, Jellyfish. And I was curious about the prices. Yeah. And by the way, Jellyfish, I do know how much they really cost, because they sold those when I was living in Taiwan, too. And so, you know, I can get them very cheaply. Yeah. But anyway, I do need to talk to you more, because I was kind of curious just about the price. I want to find somebody in China, maybe, who has a wholesale price on that stuff. So, but I'm not looking for the TikTok price. I think you know what I mean. I'm not a sucker. Let's see. You feel for me? Because I'm tired? When I was a kid, what cartoons did I watch? When I was a kid, I watched Tom and Jerry. When I was a kid, what else did we watch? God, I can't even remember. I watched Voltron. I remember watching Voltron when I was a kid. And I watched the early Transformers when I was a kid, the cartoon. And what else did I watch when I was a kid? Thundercats. I remember that one. G.I. Joe. I remember that one. Inspector Gadget. I don't know. There were a lot of cartoons, you know, I watched when I was a kid. Yeah, definitely cheaper in China. I definitely want to try. Yeah. Wow, there's a question. Yuan says, how can you improve your ending sounds? That's a specific problem for Vietnamese people, because the way Vietnamese language is, it's got a monosyllabic kind of sound to it, so everything has a short, sharp sound that starts at the beginning, and the ends are not so short or sharp. So when Vietnamese people speak other languages like English, yes, you are correct that one of the things I tell people from Vietnam is to focus more on the end of the sounds. Okay, so you can improve it by just practicing it. Slow down when you speak, and make your words longer. So look at what I'm doing right now. I'm speaking slowly, but more importantly, all of my words are long. And because they are long, I can practice the sounds more carefully. You can focus on the ends. Okay? Tom Sawyer and Robin Hood. Did I watch those? Well, yes, but I'm not sure which ones you're talking about. And hello, Christine. Thank you. Wow. Thank you for the gifts. All right. Has anyone gone to my blog yet and read any of the articles? Hello, Tanya. How are you today? And by the way, I wanted to tell you guys, this is actually not as big of a cup of coffee as you think it is. When I fill this, it's full of ice. And then the coffee is very strong, and I pour strong coffee over the ice. So, it's not all coffee. I don't drink 4 cups of coffee in the morning. It's more like 3. If you have questions, then you can ask me your questions. Okay, and again, if you haven't gone to my blog, you should go to my blog and you should read the articles. Every article that is there, I think, is a useful article. They might be difficult, and you might need to use some translation, right? Maybe you need to click on the translation button for some of it. Pardon me. Do I have Facebook? I do, but I don't really use it for anything. Like, I have a Facebook for my brand, a friend in every corner, but I don't use it very much. For the sentence, he walked towards me and asked for directions. Why is it not asked me for directions? You can do either, Carl. You could say he walked towards me and asked me for directions. The reason why it's not is because you already said me. He walked towards me, so we know that you're talking about me. So because we already said it once, you don't need to say it again. You can, but some people would say that that's redundant. Redundant means you said it more than one time and don't need to. Okay? So you could say he walked towards me and asked for directions, or you could say he walked towards me and asked me for directions. Okay? Let me give you guys my link tree so you can go to my link tree. Here is my link tree. Okay? Go to my link tree and you should be able to follow all of my social media, my website, my blog, my YouTube. Everything is there. Okay, Why do you understand only when you read the text? If you listen to half the words, I don't understand what you say. SL, I would assume that means that you have not had enough listening practice yet. And maybe sometimes I'm speaking too quickly for you, so you can't understand. Okay? But most people can understand me pretty well. So if you can't, it just means you need more practice. Okay? Do I open voice rooms and teach English? Ward, I don't do voice rooms very much ever anymore. I used to, but I don't really like them myself. Okay? I like to see. I like to have a camera. And I'll be honest, I think that having 7 people on stage is not productive. I think it's not useful, and I think it just creates a desperation that, put me on stage, put me on stage, put me on stage. Everybody's so desperate to get on stage and talk, and I don't like it. I don't like that feeling, you know? It's like a classroom with no rules, so I don't like it. So, I don't do them very often. In terms of teaching English, I do live streams here where I give tips about learning English. Okay? If you want private lessons with me, you can get them, but they are not free. Okay? You can go to my website and find out about buying private lessons. Can I explain causative verbs? Okay. So causative verbs are things that they tell you that someone or something caused something to happen. So things like have and make and get and let, those are causative verbs. Help. Okay? So when you say, I had my car fixed, I had my car fixed, I arranged for someone to fix my car, in that case, that's a causative verb. So what exactly is your question about them? Do you have a question about them? And if you guys are new, hi, if you are new, I am a teacher. I am here to help everyone, but I don't help anybody personally because I have 82,000 followers. I can't help everybody personally, but I'm here 5 or 6 times a week, okay, teaching. So I can help all of you in general. Okay? If you want private help, then you can get it from me, but you have to buy private lessons. Okay? What's the difference between hamper and hinder? They are interchangeable in many cases. Let me think about that. I think that's going to be an answer that I'll probably find in the etymology. Let me see. Hamper. To surround, imprison, confine, or pack into a container. Well, that's interesting. Wait a minute, I'm reading. So it has 2 meanings. The verb meaning means to surround or imprison or confine. So it means to stop the progress of something, right? That's the modern meaning, is to stop the motion or progress of something, is to hamper it. But the original meaning is actually like to put you in a prison that will stop you from doing what you're going to do. Uh, and then hinder. Hinder means to harm or injure or impair, right? So it's like one is about putting you away for a while, imprisoning you so that you can't do something. That's the original meaning, right? So it stops you from doing something by holding you. That's hamper, okay? Hinder is stopping you from doing something by injuring you, right? So if you say, I'm going to this city, and I say, no, you're not, and then I cut your leg so that you can go, but you're going to walk very slowly, you're going to limp the whole way there. That's, I've hindered you. I've slowed you down. That's really the only difference. Now, the truth is that most people don't know that difference, so these words are often interchangeably used. Okay? Don't hamper my progress, don't hinder my progress. That means the same thing. Okay? But if you want to know what the subtle meaning difference is, I would say that one is to hold you back so that you don't do something, and the other is to it means to injure you in some way or prevent you from doing something well. Okay. Can I explain the difference between change and alter? John. Change is a more general word. It implies all kinds of different changes. Alter means to change something slightly from one version to a new version, right? Or from one. It means that you fixed something, you improved something, you changed something, right? So I altered it means I changed something about it, but I didn't change it completely. To alter something doesn't usually, I can't imagine why you would say alter if you mean that you completely made something new. No, we use the word alter when we're talking about maybe a document, right? You wrote a document and you changed it just a little bit. You fixed this part and this part. That means you altered it, okay? Now, it could be used in a positive or negative way, meaning to alter something by purpose, like, I mean to alter this. We're going to renegotiate the contract. We're altering it. Or, this contract has been altered. That means someone changed it without asking me or telling me, like to commit fraud. Okay? But other than that, let me check one other thing, and then please be patient. Change versus alter. Yeah, change is a broader term to mean any alteration or modification, while alter usually suggests a smaller, more specific change. Look at that, I'm just like Google. I said the exact same thing. So the answer I gave is the same answer that the AI from Google gives. Okay, would I suggest for you the best way to improve your listening? Giuseppe, I think the best way to improve your listening, one is to choose good people to listen to. Two is to choose situations that you can listen to that are practical for your learning. So, listening to some things might have more value than listening to other things. Okay? So, let me think of a good analogy. I think that you need to think about what your purpose is in language learning, right? So if your purpose is academic, then you should listen to academic things like TED Talks or scientific interviews of different kinds, right? If your purpose is travel or, things like that, more what's the word? More personal, right? Then I would say you should find listening examples that reflect that, right? So be considerate means a lot of things. Sometimes it means be nice. Sometimes it means to consider things more. So what I would say is when you're thinking about practicing listening, consider, what am I listening to? Can I find some interviews? Maybe I can find some role-playing situations. Not the bad kind. I mean like somebody pretending to buy food in the restaurant, or ice cream or coffee, right? Role-playing at the restaurant, role-playing at the bank where you have to pretend to take money out of the bank. Those videos are on YouTube, right? So if you go to YouTube, you can find videos about role-playing situations of real life for language learning, right? That's good for listening, right? So put more purpose in your thought about what you are listening to. That would be my suggestion. Giuseppe. How to say I vouched for you in the present tense. I vouch for you. Just drop the ed. I vouch for you is present tense. If I could have one superpower, what would it be? Oh, I don't know. More I'll have to think about that. I don't know. That's too deep. Let's see. What do we use instead of integrity in the meaning of wholeness in normal speech? Integrity is the word we usually use if that's what you're... I think that's what you're trying to discuss or describe. Principle, you could say principle, maybe. You're a principal. But honestly, in normal conversation, I think we would use the word integrity. That's the word we most often use. Do I speak like this on a daily basis? Well, yeah, because I teach on a daily basis. Why can't we use to with them? Give me an example. I can't think of what you're trying to describe. Give me an example. Does it make sense to learn English and French together? My English level is like B1. Should I focus on it first? Gray, if you're already at a B1 level, and you could probably start French at a beginning level, and that would probably be not that bad, because guess what, Gray? 30% of English words come from French. So, French has a very strong influence on English, so there will be some slight crossover, right? There will be some words that you can learn that are similar in French and in English. Just the pronunciation will be very different. Okay? What's the difference between convince and persuade? Let me think about that. Yeah. So convincing is about changing someone's opinion or belief about something. right? Let me convince you that this idea is wrong. Persuade is more about convincing someone to take a specific action. Let me persuade you to go to this school instead of this school. Okay? Now, that's a very subtle difference, and once again, these two words are often used interchangeably in many situations, right? So, the one I just gave you about let me persuade you to go to this school instead of this school, I could say let me convince you to go to this school instead of this school, and it really wouldn't make that much of a difference. Okay? For private lessons, you can send me a message on. Ooh, see, yeah, let me think about that for a minute because my messages are getting so full. Go to my website, Ward. Go to my website, and then on my website, you can send me an email about lessons. Okay? Thank you for the gifts, Emma. And C.S. Wong, thank you. And Kin Hong, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for the gifts. Do I think from one source like a novel? Can you? Oh, I think I know what you mean, Cawthor. You mean can we learn English well from only one source? Ah, Cawthor. Can you? I will say possibly. Possibly. Possibly doesn't mean that it's a good idea. Okay? So, could you learn English from only one source? Like one book? Like a novel? Yeah, you could. It would not be a good idea, though. It would be a very bad idea. Okay? Is to hinder is to make something more difficult by getting in the way, and hamper is like preventing temporary and more strong compared to. So again, I'm imagining the original meaning, okay? And a hamper, the word hamper is a noun that means a clothes hamper. That's the way we usually talk about it now. A clothes hamper is a basket that's like meant for carrying laundry, right? And many of them, they look like cages, like a small cage or box. Well, that's what they used to do. If they wanted to stop you from doing something, they would put you in a cage or a box called a hamper. That was called hampering you. So to hamper means to hold someone back in some way, to contain someone in some way from stopping them from doing something. Okay? Hinder means more like, I didn't contain you, but I cut your leg so that you can't walk well. Okay? Or I took away your shoes and clothes, so now you are naked and can't go anywhere. Right? That's hindering. Okay? So hampering is doing something that actually holds them. Hindering is doing something that makes it hard for them to go or makes it so that they go more slowly or with more difficulty. Okay? But, again, Miriam, the majority of people, I think 99% of people think of the words hinder and hamper as pretty much the same thing. Okay? So don't get too caught up in the meanings. Okay? I speak the Midland, Ohio accent. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is in the southwest part of America. I'm sorry, southwest part of my state, Ohio. But my state has 3 accents, and one of them is called the Midland, Ohio accent, and that is the one that I have. Okay? If English is important for college or work, then suggest focusing on it. I want to learn Mandarin, but Right, I would agree with what John said there. If you're doing a language for college or for work, then you should focus on it, right? You know, what's the most valuable invention in human history? Writing. Writing. That's very easy. Computers are amazing, but if we did not have writing, we would have no computers. So writing is much more powerful. Writing contains all of the information that we have been able to record. It required writing. Everything in computers is done by some form of writing, right? In order to put in the information, you have to type it onto a keyboard using coding, using letters, using writing. So writing is language. Language allows us to communicate. Language is the most valuable. So writing, language, those are the most valuable inventions in human history. Okay, language is important, but language was different because language was more like, for example, the Vikings. The Vikings did not have a lot of written culture, so they did mostly spoken culture, meaning that they would tell stories to each other. Okay? Every night they would tell the same stories to each other about things. That was how they recorded things, was by storytelling. But other cultures, like the Egyptians or the Sumerians, they have written language that allowed them to record things for us so that thousands of years later we know about them. We know what they were thinking. We know what they liked, what they didn't like, what they did, what they didn't do. That's insane. To be able to put that down and then thousands of years later someone to be able to read it. I can read the words of Plato today. I can know what this man was thinking that long ago. That's insane. So writing. Okay, and Abdul Rahman, again, if you want to get private lessons with me, you can go to my website. I think would be the best way right now because I get too many messages in Hello Talk. So go to my website, send me an email in my website, and then I will try to reply to you, or somebody will try to reply to you. Okay? If I had a wish to come true, what would it be? I think if I could have one wish, I would wish that people cared less about money. No, let me change that. I think that I would like people to care more about people and less about money. That's what I would wish. Gray, I think you can go ahead and learn some French. Let me tell you how you can learn French. Do this, Gray. The best book that you can get to learn any language quickly is a travel language book. So, Gray, find a French travel book, travel phrase book. Learn French from that to start. Because that won't require too much practice, it won't require too much time, and it's a very practical, effective way to start learning the language quickly. Okay? So get Duolingo and get a travel phrase book, and then you can just practice it on the side, and you'll be fine. Okay? Okay, so there's Ulfat wants to know still about why can't you use to with causative verbs. So you could, but you don't need to, so you don't. Most people don't do it because it's not needed, and the reason why is because when you have causative verbs, the structure is different, so that you're using something called the bare infinitive. Okay? It's not a regular infinitive, it's a bare infinitive. And bare infinitives are the base of the form of the verb without to. Okay? So it has no to with it. Right? That's the bare infinitive. Right? So because it's a bare infinitive, we drop the to. Okay? There are dialects and accents in the USA. Which region can represent the standard American English? I would say probably Ahsoka, mine. Again, Midland, Ohio is probably the closest to IPA, International Phonetics Alphabet pronunciation. Okay? Chris, what's up, dude? How are you, man? I was going to jump into your stream the other day, and then right when I was about to, I had to deal with a little problem, and I couldn't. But I want to pop into your stream again sometime soon, man. How are you? I hope you're doing well. And wow, I'm trying to keep up with the comments, but you guys are making it hard. Let's see. Could I share some borrowed English words from other countries? Yeah, sure. Give me a language. The word shampoo comes from Hindi. The word jungle comes from Hindi. The word caravan comes from Persian. The word algebra and algorithm and alcohol, those all come from Arabic. And let's see. The word lemon also comes from Arabic. Sugar also comes from Persian and Arabic. There are lots of words that come from Latin. About 60% of English words have a Latin or Greek root to them. The word way, the way, that comes from Old English. Kindergarten and book, those come from German. And what else? Cafe, restaurant, ennui, those are all French. Okay? Cafeteria, Spanish. There are words that we take from Italian that are often used in music that we all know in English, like forte, fortissimo, piano, pianissimo, andante, adagio, mezzo forte, sforzando. Those are all Italian words, but if you learn music, then you'll learn them. The most important invention is toilet paper. That's funny, man. The phrase "with the works" in food context, is it common? Yeah, it's pretty common. Yeah. I would say if you're in America and you're speaking to a native from anywhere, of any state, if you're in a sandwich place and you say, "Can I have the works?" If you're at a burger place and you say, "Can I have the works?" If you're in a pizza place and you say, "Can I have the works?" That means, can I have all the toppings? Like everything on it. Okay? Like, for example, I went to my favorite burger place the other day and I had a burger and they said, "Do you want everything?" And I said, "Yeah, give me the works." And that means lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion, mayonnaise. That's the works for that particular place. Okay? My wish for Hello Talk is to get rid of the preset comments. Oh yeah, I know, right? They're so worthless. Just Write your own comment. How lazy do you need to be that you have to hit a button to make a comment to get started? Oh my goodness. Are you a baby? You know? Yeah, I agree with you about those comments. How can a person choose a language to learn from all the languages that there are? Well, that's up to you. Any language you want to learn is fine with me. I don't care. It's a matter of what you want to learn, what value it has in your life, what interest you have in it. Those are all personal things. That's up to you. Nobody else can tell you that. Thank you, Maura. Okay, let's see. I will come by though soon, Chris. I will. And you know, I hope you feel lucky because I don't go to anybody's streams. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. I'm lucky to be able to go to your stream. Is there any words that come from Pashto? Ooh, that's a good question. Not sure. Let me do a little looking here. Let's see. So not directly, but Pashto is historically an Iranian language. It says, and so it has roots in some other languages that are similar, right? So not directly, but there are lots of words that are similar. Excuse me. So yeah, you know, historically, if we have words that we borrowed from another language, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means that there was a time period when we had significant contact with that group. Okay? Now, America has had some significant contact with people who speak Pashto in the past for various negative reasons. So let's put it this way. I bet that there are some soldiers who probably have some words that they use that they picked up while they were there, and they heard these words in Pashto and they decided to adopt them into their local language, meaning the way they speak to each other as soldiers. So probably soldiers would be able to tell you a couple of words. Any soldiers who spent time there probably would be able to tell you a few words that they've adopted into their own language. But yeah, that's probably what I would say, is you'd have to look at that. Okay? Oh, geez. Okay, I finally caught up with everything. Everyone seems to say their accent is the standard American accent. I would not agree with that, Sebastian. But, Sebastian, standard is such a loaded word, right? I'm basing my assertion on the fact that my pronunciation is very close to the IPA pronunciation. So, not everyone can say that. Okay? There are many accents in the United States. Okay? And yes, I try to reply to every comment. If you make a question, if you have a comment or a question that's of value, then I will try to reply to it, as much as it takes time. Let's see. Chris talking about fiance. That's funny. Yeah. Language constantly evolves. How can we define what is correct grammar? That's true. And that's one of the reasons why I don't really put too much importance on grammar, because grammar has changed a lot over the years, and it does change, constantly. So, you're right that you should relax about grammar a bit because it is constantly evolving. However, Asnat, every thing, every study of anything is constantly evolving. Math is constantly evolving. Science is constantly evolving. Even our knowledge of history is constantly evolving. Just because something is constantly evolving doesn't mean that you don't have some sort of standard of view. You have to. To be able to study something, you have to keep it still. So, the standard is the stillness of whatever it is you're studying. You choose this moment to say that this is the basic variation that we're going to use to say that most people should do this. Okay? That's a standard. Consider it like a snapshot so that you can study it. If it's constantly moving, it's hard to study. Okay? The Boston, yeah. Parking the car again. Yeah, Chris has an awesome Boston accent. Yeah, but Chris, I think that you would say your accent is a standard Boston accent, but I don't think you would say... Well, I don't know. You tell me. How do you define your accent, Chris? You tell me. When other people ask you about your accent, do you say this is a standard, or do you say that this is a regional accent? You tell me. I mean, of course, mine is regional also. I'm only saying that mine reflects the IPA more than most others. That's all. So I'm curious what you would say. How do you pronounce the word vocabulary? Vocabulary. That's how. Goodbye for now, Ahsoka. Oh, did I forget about my audience? I did. Hello, Flavia. How to get out of the intermediate plateau. Read my YouTube. Yes, that's right. Read my YouTube. No. Watch my YouTube. Read my blog. Yes, you're talking to me, though, to read the YouTube. I'm sorry, Flavia. I know. I need to find a better way to put my YouTube chats up here so I can see them more easily. I will figure that out one day. Flavia, I've told you before, I think, if you're plateauing, it's because you aren't challenging yourself enough and you don't have enough ways to challenge yourself. That's it. If you're plateauing, it's because you don't have enough ways to challenge yourself and you just aren't pushing yourself enough. Okay? Kava says, I'm a beginner, it's too difficult. Everything is difficult in the beginning. Everything is difficult in the beginning. I say this is my effing accent, either love it or you can go pocket car in the harbor. I love it. That's great. Yeah. Okay, but I think Chris knows what I mean. I'm not trying to state, when I say that my accent is more standard than most, I don't say that like it's a brag. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just stating that IPA is here and Midland, Ohio accent is here, and they're very close to the same. That's all. Okay? That's all. How does the brain process multiple languages simultaneously without confusion? It doesn't. It gets confused often. Everybody who speaks more than one language, I think that they will all say that they have moments of confusion where languages get mixed up. It's all right. Plateauing. A plateau. The word plateau means a flat area of land. But we also use that term to talk about learning. And when you learn, in the beginning, you learn fast and you learn a lot and you learn with big jumps and leaps. But then the more you learn, the longer you learn, those leaps start to become smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until you feel like you're not making any progress anymore and you're just flat like a plateau. So, plateauing means that you feel like your learning is flat, that you're not advancing anymore. Okay? How do you pronounce failure? A word I've heard many times before. Failure! I often discuss it with AI in detail, the words that Mark has taught, especially the words that I heard but I did not understand. That's good, Sophia. Good for you. Good. And hello, Ana Virginia from Venezuela. How did I get started? From the beginning. From the beginning. Just like I learned Chinese. Ni hao. 很高兴认识你. 我是 Maka. Right? Just start with simple things. Start with simple things. I would say we are different, and I would never suggest that my accent is standard. I take it as a badge of honor, and I know that what you meant, I've heard that before too. Right. So yeah, so I'm saying, like, you know, again, like, I don't mean that, like, my accent is better in some way. In a lot of ways, I am so jealous of people who have a more colorful accent than mine. I feel my accent is very plain. It's clear, but it's plain. It lacks character. Accents have character. That's why I love accents, because they have character. The more clear your accent is, I feel like it's like less flavor. Less flavor. For many years I have stayed at pre-intermediate level. What should I do in order to increase my level? You should push yourself more, Shamin. You need new books, new websites, new apps, things to try that you have not tried yet. And then you need to push yourself to do more than you did before. Don't read the book at this level, read the book at this level. Push yourself, right? Ask ChatGPT to write some exercises for you or to practice things at a higher level. If you are at B1, B1 is pre-intermediate, okay, I would say, okay? A2, B1 is pre-intermediate. Then you need to tell ChatGPT to help you practice at B1, B2 level, right? To push yourself a little more, okay? Can I say an expression for the? Can I say an example for the expression rat race? Yeah, rat race is an analogy. It's an idiom that means business. That's what it means. Business is the rat race. It means that you're in a race to try to get ahead of everybody else. And guess what? Business is dirty. That's just the way I feel about it. Because I've learned that. I've learned that every opportunity that businesses have to do the right thing or make more money, they choose to make more money. So they act like what? They act like rats. Rats will do anything to get the cheese. Okay? Cheese is a word we use that means money sometimes. Do you have any cheese? Do you have any cheddar? It means do you have any money? Okay? And the big cheese means the boss. Why is he the big cheese? Because he has all the money. Okay? So the rat race means business. Why? Because people in business act like rats who are willing to do anything to get the cheese. So you could say something like, what have you been up to recently? Just the rat race of life. I'm hoping to get out of the rat race. I'm tired of the rat race. That's what it means. It just means I'm tired of being in business where you have to care more about money than you do about morals. That is business. At least business in America. Let's see. Chris, you're too kind. You're too kind. ChatGPT, the only friend who responds faster than your ex ever did. That's funny. Do I suggest using Duolingo? Sure, yeah. Sebastian, people ask me all the time, what's the best way to learn English? And what they want me to tell them is they want me to say, Duolingo is the best, or YouTube is the best way, or watching TV and movies is the best way. They want me to say one way. But that's simply wrong. If you have two people, and both of them are planning to take a trip, a hike up the mountain. Okay, they're going up the same mountain. One guy has only one tool. He has some water. That's it. This guy has water. This guy has water. He has food. He has a backpack. He has a map. He has GPS. He has a cell phone. He has the right equipment. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the guy who's going up the hill with every tool that can help him? Or do you want to be the guy going up the hill with water? When you ask about one way, that's what you're doing. You're saying, I want to go up the mountain with only one tool. No. Get as many tools as you can. Anything that will help you. Get it. I did it all for the nookie. That's funny. Demon, I'm sorry, I'm not playing any music. I don't do any music because if I play music, then YouTube will put a click on it and say, you can't play that. So I don't play any music unless I have permission for that music. So I don't usually play music. Okay? How to pronounce sovereignty. Sovereignty, that's a French word. Well, French Latin, but yeah. So the rat race is you do business without too many scruples. The rat race means just, no, it means that's life. Life is everybody is competing to get ahead. That's what it is. The rat race is everyone is competing to get ahead in life, in business, right? We're all trying to compete. That's the rat race. Like if you're in a company, and you have 4 people and they all want that job. They all want the promotion. You are in the rat race. You're racing against each other. And in the rat race, when you're racing against each other to get one promotion, sometimes people will do something bad to get it. Not sometimes, often. Often people will do something bad to get the promotion. That's why I don't think it's possible to become a billionaire and be good. Because to become a billionaire, you had to make some decisions that were the rat race, where you chose to make money over doing what's the right thing. Anybody who became a billionaire definitely chose to make money over doing the right thing many times. Many times. Okay. Full-time musician, part-time tutor. More like the other way around anymore. I'm full-time tutor, part-time musician now. But I was a full-time musician for a long time. Same example for this one also. The grand finale. Grand finale means just... grand means big, and finale means the last act, the last thing, the last performative act, right? So... Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. I'm sorry. A grand finale means at the end of a performance, they have the final act, and it's grand, it's big, it's huge. It makes you go, wow. That's the grand finale. We use that for anything, in business, in life, in whatever. If you have something that's the final thing that's really big, then that's the grand finale. Okay? If it's the end. The rat race is wild. I run all day and I still can't afford the cheese. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Okay. Wow, I've already been here for an hour and 20 minutes. And I haven't gotten any of my work done. I always think there's going to be, nobody here, and then there are 80 people here asking me questions. So it's fine. Ask me questions if you have questions. I'll see you soon, Chris. I wanna come jump in your stream, say hi, if you don't mind. If you haven't followed Chris, please follow Chris. Chris is one of the coolest guys on Hello Talk, and he does great live streams with a great attitude and great vibe. Very positive guy, and there are not too many people who I really respect and admire on Hello Talk among the live streamers. There are not too many. But Chris, I respect and admire what Chris does a lot. He's a hero of positive vibes. And that is a very valuable thing these days. It's a very valuable thing these days. Let's see. How can you find Chris? Just click on his picture. Click on his picture and you can follow him. Okay? Sometimes you're confused about using was and had. Was and had they both have the same basic function. They're both past tense verbs, but they're past tense verbs for different things. Was is the past tense of is, and had is the past tense of have. So anything that you say with have in the past tense, you say had. Anything that you say with is in the past tense, was. Okay? Backdoor bragging. Backdoor bragging, that's a fun one. Backdoor bragging means that you're trying to give yourself a compliment in casual conversation. It's like when you say, it's so hard for me to watch this person try this thing because I'm so good at it. You know? Or you could say something like, I'm having such a hard time doing this because I'm so busy doing all my other big things. Right? That's backdoor bragging. It means that you're trying to find a way to get people to notice what you're doing. But in a casual, in a seemingly casual way. It's never. I mean, it's always obvious when someone does it. Yeah. I might have to dress as a woman. You only bring up women. All right. Well, I'm sure I can find a dress I can fit into around here somewhere. You haven't heard me say any bad words compared to other Americans. Is that because of your job? Well, yes, Sebastian. I love to say bad words. I do use them in my daily life, in my regular life. I use them. But when I'm a teacher, I do not. When I'm a teacher, I generally try to imagine that there are children watching. I try to imagine that a child might watch this one day. And if they do, I don't want to have that language. So, as a teacher, of course, when you walk in the door, you change. As soon as I walk in the door to a classroom, I am now Teacher Mark. Teacher Mark is different than regular Mark. Regular Mark uses bad words. I assure you. I do remember Nikhil, yes. Yes, I am an English teacher. What do you do when you're trapped in so many tasks that make you anxious and frozen not to do them? Mahdi, I would say that I have that problem too, and I would say that I am trying to my new way of trying to get better at this is that whenever I do things, I always want them to be perfect, so that I always do too much. I do too much all the time. So now my new rule is that I try to do 80%. Because my 80% is your 110%. So, if I get it done at 80%, I try to be done. I'm done. That's it. And then I put it out and I'm finished, right? So I write it and I'm done. I finish it and I'm done. And I try to be done at 80%. That's my recommendation. Is I would say that choose a task and try to get it done at 80% instead of 100%. And If your 80% is good, then you're fine. Okay? How can you distinguish between interested and interesting? Tina, that's like bored and boring, right? So, the movie is boring, I feel bored. The movie is interesting, I feel interested. Okay, I am interested in doing something. That is interesting. So the things are interesting, I am interested. The things are boring, I am bored. Okay? It is exciting, I am excited. Okay? Thank you, Gayla. Do I have a group here for practicing English? Not really, no. I have a group on my WhatsApp. I have a new group on my WhatsApp, and a few volunteers in that group are helping people with their English, but I don't spend a lot of time there. I try to post some things there to help with English occasionally too, but not a lot. So, I don't have a lot for you in that way. However, Ezra, there is a group called LET English. If you look for LET, the LET groups on HelloTalk, they have many of them, and that is a great group. I wish I had the link for you right now, but I don't. Let's see. LET English. Look for LET English 2 or LET English 3. I'm not sure what the newest one is. They have many of them. Those groups are probably the best groups on HelloTalk for practicing. Okay? Say an example for controversial. Controversial things are things that make people feel one person has this idea and this person has the other idea, and therefore when you talk about this, these people are uncomfortable. Okay? So, controversial topics are topics that when you talk about them, people have strong feelings about them. And some people feel this way and some people feel that way. So when you talk about it, it's uncomfortable because there are always people arguing about it. It's controversial. Okay? Contra means against. Okay? Versial means, in this case, controversy is the controverse. Let's see. One moment. There it is. Contra meaning against, and versus meaning toward or against. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, yeah, a controversy means something that people argue about. Okay? You gave 100%, 10%, and then immediately took a 3-hour break to get recovery. I do that too. How can I recognize words into a complete sentence like a native? For me, I always speak English and Chinese logic. Sophia, I think you should tell DeepSeek or ChatGPT that. Tell ChatGPT that. And then tell it, please practice some real life role-playing English situations with me. Please practice some real life role-playing English situations with me to help me learn how to speak more naturally like a native. okay? And you just need more practice. You need more situational practice. And you can start with writing, and then you can switch to speaking, okay? Careless whisper. That's great. Controversial is pineapple on pizza. I know, and you know what? I'm one of those people. I like Canadian pizza. I like it. I like. Uh, yeah, I think it's good. Ham and pineapple. I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater. I thought it was good. It's not always good. Certainly, it's not always good. But if you use the right cheese and you use the right pineapple and you use the right ham and you cook it the right way, it's good. Get off your high horse. Yummy is yummy. Sorry, Tomas. It doesn't offend my culinary sensibilities. They have durian pizza too. Yes, durian. Dorian pizza would be interesting. That would be either a Greek pizza of architectural value or a Greek pizza of musical value. Dorian pizza. Durian, Durian. But I know what you mean, Raya. Yeah. So, sentences with would've, could've, should've. I could do that, Mahdi, but first I will ask you, have you tried to do that with ChatGPT or with AI? Have you asked ChatGPT to do that? Mahdi? Would've, could've, should've? You should. Because it will answer it better than I can. Okay, good. Because whatever answer it gave you is, I can't answer it better. I'm sure it gave a better answer than I would. Okay? Do I eat cho tofu? Yeah. I did. I don't always like it, but if it's done well, it's okay. It's okay. Fried is okay. My favorite way to have it was actually in Stinky Tofu Hot Pot. Have you ever tried that? Maybe you haven't. There was a chain of restaurants in my city that had Stinky Tofu Hot Pot. And it was delicious. Yeah. Yeah, let me see. Can I find that? Let me see. Yeah, here it is. I didn't know that this is a Taiwan thing, apparently. But it is. And it's yummy. Yeah, my favorite was spicy Stinky Tofu Hot Pot. Yeah. Like this. Wait a minute. If you've never tried it, you should. It's delicious. There it is. Stinky Tofu Hot Pot. Big chunks of stinky tofu floating in there. And then the stinky tofu takes on the flavor of the broth, and then you have this delicious, yummy soup in that funky fermented tofu. It's yummy. Look at that. Oh, it's making me hungry. It's making me hungry. So there's fried right there. That's fried, and that's good. But yeah, this is Stinky Tofu Hot Pot, like this. And it's yummy. Yeah. So that's my favorite way to eat it. Right? Sue says, I don't like pizza. Sue, if you say I don't like pizza, then I'll tell you that you haven't tried enough pizza. Because it's not possible. It's not possible to say I don't like pizza. It's not. It's bread with yummy stuff on top. That's pizza. Now, there are many pizzas that are substandard pizzas, right? So pizzas that just don't taste that good because they're not made that well. But you just can't say I don't like pizza. I promise you, there is a pizza that you like. You just haven't tried it. There is a pizza that you will love, but you just haven't tried it. Yeah. I've never tried Ghormeh Sabzi, but I would like to. There are no Iranian restaurants in my city, unfortunately. But I'd like to. Sad breakup pizza toppings, cold instant noodles, Nutella, pickles, and crushed Oreos. That's hilarious. That's funny. Is stinky tofu really stinky? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It will hit you in the face like a dirty sock. Like wet garbage on a hot summer day. You want me to share photos of cuisine with friends at night? I don't have any of those ready right now. Sorry. Did I try durian pizza? I did not, but I did try durian. It's okay, but it's not my favorite at all. I thought it was much better dried than fresh. I tried it fresh, I tried it frozen, and I tried it dried. Frozen is better because it's less stinky. Fresh, I just can't do it. It's just the feeling, the texture and the smell between the two of them. I can't do it. Dried was okay, but the problem I had with dried durian is that the taste of the dried durian, after you eat one piece, your mouth will taste like that for the rest of the day. So I ate just a few pieces of dried durian, but I felt like I was tasting durian for the rest of the day. Yeah. Yeah, anyway. Okay, let's see. What am I going to do now? Let's do this. If you have not yet, you can go to my new blog. If you like my teaching and you like my ideas, then you can go to my new blog here. And if you go to my new blog, then you will find my articles that I have written here. These are articles that I wrote, okay? They're not articles I took from someplace else. They're not articles that I just asked ChatGPT to make for me. These are articles that are written by me with my ideas. Okay? So you can go and read, and I have many different kinds of articles about etymology, about grammar, about vocabulary, about concepts, I've got 4 chapters from my book. They're practical tips, pronunciation, okay? And I have 2 more I'm going to publish later today. So, where's the article about you? Still being written, my friend. So, if you want to, you can go check out my blog and leave a comment and write a comment, please, and like it and share it. Okay? And yeah, guess what? I know they're long. And maybe difficult. But I thought you wanted to learn English. If you wanted to learn English, if you are learning English, if you want to learn English, go read them. Try. Guess what? If you read it and you don't understand it, guess who you can ask? If you read my blog and there's something that you don't understand, guess who you can ask? Yeah, Chris, that's right. You can ask me. So if you say, hey, Teacher Mark, I read your blog, I read this article, but I don't know this word, I don't understand this thing. If you read my blog, I promise you I will tell you about it. Okay? But the truth is, I think 90% of you will not read my blog. And the reason why is because you are lazy. Are you lazy or not? If you are not lazy, then go read my blog. Okay? Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. You say, I want to improve my English. I want to learn English. English is so important to me. If English is so important to you, and if you want to learn English, then go read my blog, because that's the answers. The answers are there. I gave you the answers. Boom. Here is my blog. Answers. All you have to do is read them. Also my YouTube. Every answer that I have about learning English, every answer about grammar, every answer about vocabulary, every answer about reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, pronunciation, public speaking, confidence, every answer that I have in this head, I have already answered. I have already said it. It's on my YouTube. All you have to do is watch my YouTube and pay attention and make notes. Okay? So, where can you find all this wonderful material? Right here. Go to my link tree. On my link tree, you'll find this. You will find this on my link tree. And what's here right at the top? Teacher Mark's blog on Buy Me a Coffee. And what's here? My fan club, right, which is in WhatsApp. That's the one I was saying. If you join that, it's a new group. It's volunteer only. I try to jump in there sometimes and say hi, but it's a new group that it's volunteer run, meaning that if you can help, you should help. You can join the group and help everybody. Okay? And here's my Telegram, although I don't really use it for very much yet. And here is my introduction video. Here is my website. Here is my YouTube. Here is my podcast. And here is my Hello Talk profile. Okay, they're all right there. Okay. Sue says, oh, the link doesn't work in my country. I'm sorry to hear that. You know, there are some people who are able to use a VPN. Yeah, right. You might need a VPN. Okay? That's right. You can't just talk the talk, you have to walk the walk. That's right. That's not my words. Those are old words. We've been saying that. I heard that when I was a child. You can't just talk the talk, you have to walk the walk. Okay. Yeah, again, right. The answers are already there. Every answer I have about English. 82,000 people follow me. 82,000. That means that a lot of people ask me questions. That means that the answers are all there. You just need the patience to go find them. So if you have the patience to watch a long video, you can get all the answers you need. Okay? The firewall rejected you. Yes, well, the firewall rejects many. Well, I hope you can find it. If you can't, by the way, for my Chinese audience who may have trouble, if you have trouble finding my website or, you know, my blog or whatever, if you can't go to it, I am trying to build another new website only for my Chinese audience. Okay? It's going to take some time, but I'm going to try to build a twin, a twin website just for my Chinese followers. Okay? But that's going to take some time. So, in the meantime, right now, 我觉得如果你用一个 VPN, 你可以啊, okay? All right, I have to go. I'm tired and my back hurts. I've been sitting too much in front of this computer. So, Chris, if you're still here, thank you once again. I really do appreciate when you come. It's always nice. I'm a very selective person about whose company I enjoy, but Chris is a good guy. So follow Chris and go see his live streams and hang out. If you just need a good vibe, if you just need a good hang, some positive, vibes, go hang out with Chris. Okay? And I'm going to come hang out with you sometime soon too, Chris. And yeah, once again, if you're looking for my link, it is right here. Everything that you need to follow is right there. Okay? Everything you need to follow is right there. Okay? All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for following. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. See you on Monday. Okay? All right. Bye-bye. Thanks, Chris.